Welcome, Ed, to Channel Mic Check. Glad to have you on an episode.
I am so excited to be here, and always great speaking with you, Calvin.
Of course. No, this is wonderful, and I feel like we talk all the time and get to catch up and share
this
ideas.
This one's being recorded.
This is for everyone to see. Yes, we have an audience.
Yeah.
No, it's super fun, and one of my favorite things about you is you have a vibrant music career. So what's the latest on what's happening for Ed Morales, musician, rock star?
Oh, I wouldn't. Yeah, well, thank you. You've always been so gracious to support that. I really appreciate that. Well, I'm excited to tell you I'm actually releasing a new single. This is going to be, it's going to be on a 2-song single.
Okay.
I've always had.
So it's a double.
It's a double, yeah. A double, yeah, because it's two sides.
Yeah.
So you play
it
and you
flip it
over.
over.
Yeah, so it's going to be on vinyl. It's a 7-inch vinyl.
Okay.
It's like the old-fashioned singles, but it is I've always been a ballad singer, so these are both kind of slower themed songs. I actually do a duet with a young lady on one of them.
Right.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, but it's going to come out in January.
Okay.
And it's the album. The single's called Silhouette.
Silhouette. It'll be Spotify, Apple Music.
Tidal.
Yeah.
Amazon.
All right.
All the normal course.
Okay.
In areas for
we'll have
listen.
To check it out.
Well, I'll get you a copy.
Get me a copy.
Of
I got
course.
to add to my Ed Morales record collection.
Yes, thank you.
Border Town. That's one of my faves. That's one of your albums.
That's one you like the most.
That is the one I like. I don't, so do you write your own music?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll write and I arrange them, and then work with a producer to help me put the vision into reality.
Now, do your worlds ever collide? Like, do you leverage AI in your music career at all?
Well, interesting. Not yet. That we've. It's because I think some of the technology that's out there, it's starting to become enhanced in some of the tools to do corrections of sound and what have you. But I'm still old school, so I still play guitar live drummers, live musicians. So try to keep that feel in the music.
I love it. No, that's so cool. And I feel like you just got so many interesting fun facts we could go on, but let's dive in.
Okay.
Let's start talking about Destination AI and AI overall. So before we get into the program conversation, Vice President of High Growth Strategic Enablement, you do a lot. That means a lot. So tell us a little bit about your role and what day-to-day means for you.
Oh, thanks for the question. So yeah, I mean, with enablement strategies, obviously it's a constant transformative effort to keep abreast of all the different changes that are happening in the technology field. How do you adapt it to our channel? How do you align it with our vendors? And then really making it more of a tangible way of being able to be absorbed by our constituents, whether it be our internal teams or our partners. And so what we do is we look at the market, identify key trends, and then we leverage some of our enablement vehicles to be able to deliver that to market at scale.
So helping partners navigate, helping partners evolve, and then helping them really deliver and continue to grow.
Right.
Learn,
solve, deliver.
Learn, solve, deliver, evolve. There we go.
Yes.
I did it. Lots on the news right now about, there's the infamous study that's out there about, hey, people just aren't seeing the outcomes from some of these AI initiatives that were invested in this year. Not as effective as expectations had hoped for. You're also seeing a lot of numbers around, hey, there's going to be a de-investment in AI initiatives. What's the truth? What's your take on things?
Well, it was interesting because that study you're referencing came out in August, but when you look at the details of that, it was a very small study. I think they profiled about 50 or so end customers, and they interviewed 300 people. So it's not one of those robust studies. So I think it was a sensational release. They said 95% of all POCs fail. But when you look at the data, it was interesting. There's a lot of silver linings in there. The majority of the projects that were being developed were DIY. So these are end customers trying to create these on their own. The issue primarily was that there was no vision on what the outcome was. So they did. How do you measure success if you don't know where you're going? One, two. Most of the projects were focused on providing enhancements to sales and marketing, but where they were seeing success, interesting enough, were the back office operations, BPO enhancements, and then leveraging prepackaged ISV solutions that delivered an outcome. Those were moving into production 70% of the time. So what it was really did, it helped validate our own strategy, because we have a whole suite of ISVs that are prepackaged, and most of the work that we're seeing our customers engage are operations and back office solutions. So it just provided us, instead of using it as a deterrent, it uses to kind of help reinforce our compass that we have and we are headed in the right direction. Relative to investments, I think customers are just waiting. And wading through the noise. They're waiting until
waiting with a T.
Yeah, and then
waiting with a D.
Yes,
Got it.
Yeah, until they can find it. But this is what I think, and they're looking for direction, and I believe what we're able to do in our efforts with our enabling is providing those directional guidance, not only to the partners but for their end customers as well.
And when you're looking at kind of the wide spectrum of partners who we work with, what are some of the derailers that you see partners out there who might, be hesitant to start on some of these things?
Well, I think, and one of the things that we saw early on was that we were seeing somewhat of a slower adoption of within Destination AI. We had some partners that were taking some of the solutions, but these were some of the higher end solutions. And I think there's been some intimidation by the partners because there's been so much focus on agentic AI and Gen AI. What is a partner who normally sells IT infrastructure or security or cloud supposed to do with those investments in those resources? And what we did, we kind of pivoted and actually started to look at the full stack. So our approach is really looking at because this is interesting. Cal, in all my career, because I'm an older guy. I don't know if I can say that, but I mean, I'm an older guy.
You can say whatever you want.
But what I'm saying, but it was interesting. This is the first time that I've known where you have to buy the full stack. You can't just deploy an application and not update your infrastructure, and you can't just do it without updating your data and securing that data. So in order to do that, you have to understand that when you're deploying an application, you need to really look at the full, from the infrastructure to the data to the application. As a result, it allowed us to then open the aperture to incorporate all technologies, and which is why we were able to then start to engage with this methodology built around this solution grid that came out earlier this year, by where we were mapping technologies on two vertices, one on the technology complexity and then the sales complexity. How hard is it to sell? And then mapped it to the 3 tiers of partners we have. What they did, it opened up the opportunity for partners at all different levels to identify solutions that are based on their capability. So we were able to do with infrastructure, we were able to do with security, with cloud, and now it provided a vision for where a partner can now participate now, where they're at, and then we can lead them on that journey about where they want to go and where they want to be with our Destination AI enablement vehicles, including Practice Accelerator.
Well, let's talk about that. Define that, because we have a very specific methodology. Let's talk about Destination AI and all the things under that umbrella.
Well, Destination AI was something that was forged almost 3 years ago from the analytic team, right? And which made sense because all early AI originated out of analytics. But over the last 18 months, AI has become pervasive in all technology segments, so it required us to open the aperture, as I mentioned earlier. But it was all built on our value proposition of a learn, solve, deliver, evolve, where we provide guidance and market intelligence to the partners. We then help them solve those problems. We help them then deliver that solution and then evolve, continue to provide upgrades and enhancements and lifecycle management services to the customers with the partner. And we've developed a whole series of enablement vehicles, including practice builders, but also this new Practice Accelerator program, which has become, and what we're hearing from partners is the terms transformative as being a game changer. Because what it does, the interesting differentiation here is that we are helping partners. In AI, it's not about the what. It's about the why and the how. And we are, with the market intelligence, we have the why part. we obviously, with the technologies, we know what the what is, but the how has always been the key differentiation. And what we've been able to do is help partners start to work on their business as opposed to in their business. So we're helping them understand how they take things, how they take their solutions to market, how they should start engaging the full organization in determining which solutions they should deliver to market, how they leverage their lighthouse accounts, their most trusted end customers, to validate and vet whether these solutions are even something that they should take to market. And as a result of that, we've been able to see partners transform their businesses and become confident and create new businesses and new lines of businesses around AI with TD SYNNEX.
And what would you kind of say to somebody who's like, listen, I have 1,000 competing priorities. I just don't know that I can make that investment, or I don't have the time, or I don't think I'm ready. What would you say to a partner who might be out there thinking that right now, to encourage them to take a step, even if it's not towards this? What would you encourage them to do?
Well, there was a comment made at one of our events. Someone mentioned something that they had a partner that was uncertain whether they wanted to get involved in AI. And I was in a room full of partners, said, well, I just want to comment on something. Whether you know it or not, and whether you like it or not, you're in AI. So it's now just identify kind of where do you play in that stack. And I would venture to say most partners have not really ventured forth because they don't know where they're at. And we have an assessment tool that we help based on the tiering where a partner may be at in that journey. But like I said to you, because we're going to market with the full AI stack, even within infrastructure, there is a whole new series of network, storage, servers that are required to deploy an AI solution. Just using your core competencies in those areas, you're just learning to deliver it in a different way. Security, what used to be something that Zero Trust covered was enough is no longer enough. We now are providing an enhanced and advanced enablement around securing an AI environment, and then also providing use cases. The interesting thing, what we advise our partners, and when you go to an accelerator event, it's not only talking about the technology, underlying technology like an infrastructure, but we always couple it with an ISV, because it's about delivering an outcome. And we have solutions that are available for every partner, no matter where they're at in their journey, from the experts all the way through the ready and the where. So every different tier of partner that we can engage, there is an ISV or an outcome-based solution we can help them deliver. And you will hear this countless times where partners have started to incorporate end client devices with an application to deliver an AI solution. And this has added a whole new line of business for them. So the way I say it was that no matter where you're at, just start a discussion with us, because you're going to discover you're already in AI, and we can start you in that journey to that next stage and kind of get you where you want to go.
How do they start the discussion?
Well, they would align with, obviously they can go through their client exec or their inside rep, who will then contact us. We have a whole series now of Destination AI champions.
All right.
I think we're upwards to 190 now.
Okay.
And by the way, any of our team that are looking to become a champion, you can join at any time. It's welcome. We have weekly calls with our internal teams. The intent there was to really help enable and scale out our value add and the message to the broader audience within our organization, so they were confident in being able to share and know when a customer comes, where do they go, and that once that happens, they'll start to engage our team, by which we can then start that process of having that discussion with them and then leading them on that journey with our sales teams and our vendor teams.
I love it. And don't take our word for it, right? We've got a partner with us today.
Yes, and a very cool one.
They are very cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring him in.
Yes. Well, we're joined by Bob Tadevich from Network Solutions, who was one of the earlier adopters of the Destination AI Practice Accelerator program. He's very well known, obviously, in TD SYNNEX, and a very welcomed addition to this program. So I'll let you ask the first question there, Calhoun.
Bob, one of the questions I love to ask partners who've been through one of our Destination AI programs is, what's your before and after story? What are some of the indicators of transformation that you've experienced after participating in our accelerator program?
Great question, Calhoun. I would say the biggest issue for us before the AI Accelerator program was knowing that with AI, I mean, AI is exploding, and either you're going to jump in or you're going to get left behind. But there was so much opportunity out there with the myriad of applications and opportunities. Knowing where to invest and thinking, okay, where do we start? Where would I get a return on my investment? Um, how do I go from hundreds down to just one or two use cases? And what I would say, one of the tangible benefits for me of the AI Accelerator program was getting to that starting point. Just one or two places where we can get started. Um, I'll say, in addition to that, a couple of the benefits that we saw that wasn't just for AI, but your go to market program process spectacular. We have for years and years and years kind of let our engineers determine what our offerings would be, because guess what, our sales team don't want to sell something that our engineers don't feel 100% confident in. So your go-to-market process, where we huddle up both the sales team, the CX team, the engineering team, and then include the customer with your lighthouse customer concept, is great to come up with offerings that will match what the marketplace wants. But then you took it two steps further. Number one, I love that you helped us calculate the CAC, the cost to acquire a customer, right, and then the customer's lifetime value. So we knew, okay, whatever we're going to jump in with, do we have a pretty good feel for how much it's going to cost us to win customers? How much do we think we can make? So now we have a really, do we know what we're offering the customer will want? Check. Do we know it'll be profitable? Check. So you took a lot of the mystery out of it for us.
So it sounds like you got a lot of clarity throughout the process, and you were able to kind of overcome maybe even, it sounds like, some of your own business culture within your team to kind of change mindsets.
Exactly. I think historically we worked too much in silos between our departments, and even if you can imagine this, and I bet we're not alone, that we're developing offerings without first consulting with our customers, which in hindsight, it sounds ridiculous, but I bet a lot of the listeners here will say, yeah, I'm guilty of doing the same thing. We rush to market. We try to get to market so quickly that sometimes what we get to market with isn't the right solution for the customer. So to take that one extra step and sit down with your 3 to 5 lighthouse customers and really run through it with them and make sure it's good. And then maybe even in our case, tweak it a little bit to be a little bit more relevant for your customers. Then we know what we're going to market with is really going to be successful.
Yeah, Bob, when we spoke to each other at Inspire, you mentioned how this was transformative. You just cited a lot of ways how you've incorporated a lot of the regimen of Practice Accelerator within your business. I know you've had a primary engagement with a core vendor within TD SYNNEX. How is this? How is this methodology, this approach, expanded your approach as you engage customers?
Great question, Ed. Historically, as you mentioned, we had been very laser focused on one OEM, and through the practice, the AI acceleration program, we have adopted actually not one, not two, but 3 additional OEMs that specifically address two different AI needs for customers. One is more on the endpoint side, and one is more on the server data center side. But yeah, you have kind of helped us distill something that wasn't too far out of our reach. It didn't take a lot of additional learning, but yeah, it allowed us to expand our offerings to our customers. And in another case, in one of those 2 cases, you actually through partnerships, you introduced us to another partner who does something that we don't know how to do, which combining we do with what they do, now we can bring a lot more value to our customers. So that's just opening. Since the AI Accelerator program, we've had literally 6 meetings with our customers with this other partner, where we can now, we're building funnel through just the partnerships built at the AI Accelerator program.
That's brilliant. And I appreciate the fact that you're starting to leverage the ecosystem. One of the things that we've always heard, it takes multiple partners to deliver an AI solution, and you've just cited how this is a very key differentiator for yourself and for your customers. I would venture to say, now that you have this methodology in place, the adoption and then scaling of new solutions through your practice is a lot easier. I use that in quotes, but it's a little bit more. You've now got a methodology in place. Would that be an accurate statement?
Well, I'm angry with you, Ed, because the process was so good that we actually went back, because we have 12 managed services offerings, and we we went back that we had developed ourselves before we were introduced to your go-to-market strategy, and we tweaked our 12 offerings.
Awesome.
So yeah, you caused a lot of work for us, but at the same time, we were wondering why our managed services weren't exploding like we wanted them to. And when you have a flawed process of offering development, guess what? Your solutions aren't necessarily going to explode in the marketplace. And really, I say that facetiously. Really greatly appreciate you sharing that go-to-market process with us. Yeah, because it is helping us make sure that our offerings are matching what our customers are looking for.
Ed's a hard person to be mad at. You have to really work at that, Bob. So, no, I think that's great, and I just would love to know, like, what are your customers saying?
I don't know why I'm surprised by this, but our customers were delighted to be included in the offer building process. They were, I think they really felt like, wow, you're asking me what your offering should be. That, we're not used to that. And so they love having input. So in a nutshell, we ended up strengthening our relationships with our customers, because they're feeling very, to them, it feels like a red carpet treatment. Like we're customizing something for them. Obviously, we're not going to do Lighthouse customer meetings with all of our customers, but those 3 to 5 that we picked, absolutely, they like that. Overall, I think they're seeing us as a partner who is bringing thought leadership, specifically in AI, and then also, it feels catered to them. I would say they're struggling with functionally the same thing we were struggling with before the AI Accelerator program, in that they see AI as happening to them. It's happening to them left and right. Their users want to use Grok, and they want to use open. They want to use all the different platforms, right, for AI, and they have to balance usability and their user community with security, and so they're terrified that they're going to be opening up their what should be private records and private data to the public, and so what I feel is happening is our customers are looking for thought leadership, and they're looking for guidance, and there's always been the where there's mystery, there's margin. I feel like with AI that is the case in spades. So it's strengthening our customer relationships, and it's allowing us to be a little bit more consultative with them.
Phenomenal. So Bob, well, first of all, thank you so much for jumping on this discussion with us. But before we let you go, I have one last question. Based on your experience and what you've been able to garner from this engagement with TD SYNNEX and our Practice Accelerator, what advice would you give to other partners who are looking to start their AI journey?
As they say, every journey starts with a step, and I really think the AI Accelerator program will help you start with a smart step. So, it takes admittedly a few days. It takes an investment, but then to have a methodology where you can be measuring your cost to acquire customers, you can be estimating your customer's lifetime value. It becomes a simple math equation. You're checking in with your customers to validate all your offerings that they match what the clients are looking for. To me, starting with the AI Accelerator program is the right first step. And not only will it help you with AI, it's going to help you with your managed services offerings. It's gonna help us with every single offering we build in the future. We are going to just shamelessly copy your program because it's a great program. Really appreciate that the fact that you included network solutions into the program. And yeah. And as advice to other partners who maybe are still a little bit unsure where they can make smart investments with AI, I think this is the perfect program to invest your time in.
Awesome. Thank you so very much, Bob.
That is great advice. And now, Bob, we're going to include you in a little tradition that we have here on the podcast. So we call this, we end every podcast with mic drop moments. So it's just basically a really short kind of statement that sums up a kind of a like bold methodology that you have to share with our audience. So I'll go first. I'll show you guys how it works. So my, based on our discussion today, my mic drop moment would be, you got to leave the harbor. So just in order to survive and really thrive in this new market, you're going to have to get out of your comfort zone. You're going to have to explore new waters. I'm a diver, so I like to go underwater as well. And so you're going to have to go to new depths to really thrive in this new market. So Bob, what is your mic drop moment?
I would say it's fail and learn together quickly. Everything isn't going to go exactly as planned, but learn from your mistakes, quickly pivot, move forward, and you'll be ahead of your competitors.
I love that. And that echoes a principle that we use internally as well, which is fail and learn. And so that's a mirror to exactly what we want to do, not just internally as a company, but also externally. So I love that you echo that as well. All right, Ed, bring us home. What's your mic drop moment?
Well, I will say this, and is that there's a common perception that where partners are asking whether they should be in AI or not. Whether they know it, they are in AI, and their customers are in AI. So as Bob talked about, be bold, step forward, but you have a partner in TD SYNNEX that can help you on that journey.
Yeah, you're not leaving the harbor alone.
No.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Bob. Thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. All right. With that, Ed, what a great channel mic check. Thanks for being here as well.
Absolutely. It was a blast.
Yes.
Let's do this again.
Let's do it again and again and again. Thanks, everybody.